It's hot on the PGA Tour right now, and that's what we need to talk about. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Raineri, and as we welcome in Keith Stewart, our PGA pro, right here on the SportsGrid Network. Keith, how's life treating you there?
Hey, good morning on a Tuesday. It's treating me about as good as a winner with a bucket hat and a yellow golf ball on Sunday, starting the week at 400 to 1. I mean, where these guys are coming from, I don't know. They don't come from LIV. Maybe they're coming from the Champions Tour these days. But, man, anybody can win on the PGA Tour at this point.
You used to say this, Keith, as we lined up on a Sunday. Any given Sunday, anybody can win. Apparently, on the PGA Tour, that is correct, because last Sunday, Peter Malnati, minus 12, shoots a 67 and takes the win down. And talking with Joe and you over the break, it's like, who is this guy?
Well, you know, it's funny. This guy serves on the PAC, which is the Players Advisory Council. So he's on this board with Adam Scott and Tiger Woods and Jordan Spieth. And he's in the Bahamas, and he's meeting with Liv and Yasser and everything. I think all these guys have rubbed off on Peter Malnati. All of a sudden, this guy believes in himself. He played great at Pebble in a signature event that he got into basically because he was on the PAC. He played great at the Players, and now all of a sudden he wins the Valspar. I think there's something to be said for sitting in meetings in the Bahamas with Tiger and Yasser.
Yeah, I agree. Or you get even better, like, hey, thanks so much for showing up on a Sunday there. Some of the guys that can't close on Sunday are got to be driving you and the PGA crazy, because these are big-name guys. Xander Schauffele, you shoot 65 this Sunday, and if you shot that last Sunday, you win. It's amazing to me how the PGA Tour has gotten so, I don't want to say parity, but is it parity really outside of a handful of guys?
Well, I tell you what, outside of Scottie, and I'm sure we'll get to him in a moment and what the heater that he is on, it seems like these guys that we know all the names. I mean, Justin Thomas, he was in position to win, and the weekend he just completely ejected from the tournament. Xander shows up, shoots 65 on Sunday, and he backdoors a nice top 10, but like, I mean, do you want to be a backdoor man? I mean, he's got to step up. And at the end of the day, I mean, quite honestly, I mean, you look at the names at the top. I mean, poor Cam Young. Joe, take a breath. Take a breath. I mean, poor Cam Young. Seven runner-ups.
Show right there, man. It's a bad clip. Oh.
I mean, Cam Young was in perfect position to close on the snake pit. It's a snake pit, and he got snake bit. You know, I mean, it just, at the end of the day, maybe Jay Monahan made a deal with the devil. I don't know. But you know what? Live at the end of the day. I mean, they don't even play golf. I mean, John Rahm is over there, and he's like, geez, I missed some of these tournaments that I would have loved to have defended this year. I mean, we're all leading up to Augusta in a couple of weeks. I'll be down there, and I can't wait to see all of this come together. There's going to be a lot of heat there down at Magnolia Lane.
Oof.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch it play out, but you're right about that. Like, what do we like to watch on a Sunday? The best golfers in the world playing on the same course against each other. Now you have two rival factions with half the superstars. One league nobody watches. The other league lost half its superstars. Maybe the Masters, we can work it all out. But before we get there in about 2 weeks, we got the Texas Children's Houston Open this week, and it looks like it's a 7,400-yard course. It's a par 70 down in Houston. I always like to set the table with this, Keith. Give us a look at what this course is going to offer this weekend on the PGA Tour.
Well, Donnie, this is a big boys ballpark, you know, and the owner of the Houston Astros put a lot of money into this public golf course there in Memorial Park. Par 70 at 7,400 yards, and we have 5 par 3s. I mean, this thing, it's got 5 par 4s over 490, 3 par 5s. They average almost 600 yards. You need length to win here. You look at the 3 winners that we've had: Carlos Ortiz, Jason Kokrak, Tony Finau, all guys that hit the ball long. And you also have to pay attention to this. Most people think this is a new event on the PGA Tour. It's not. It was played in the fall over the last couple of years. So it got moved to March. We have a big agronomy change that's going on. In the fall, it was all Bermuda grass. Now, this time of year down there in Houston, they overseeded with a bunch of Poa Trivialis on the greens, rye for the rough. Now, this place is going to play firmer and faster than it has before. So as you look at these power players, you also have to pay attention to that around the green skill, because this place is kind of like, you know, the upside down salad bowl where the greens run off in the chipping areas and everything. And it definitely favors a certain type of player that can bomb it off the tee and that can also score on the greens. Those three winners, they've gained over an average of 7 strokes on the field with their flat stick.
All right. Well, you mentioned it, right? Is anybody starting? Is it going to stop Scottie? Who else can win this tournament? Because he's already proven if he's on, good luck trying to catch him here.
Well, it's interesting. When you look at the boards, he opened the week at plus 300, and his number's gone down, which means that the books are taking action on this guy. And honestly, I mean, here's what here. I know we're having fun this morning, but we got to pump the brakes for a second, right? Scottie Scheffler at plus 275 to win a golf tournament. I mean, it was just a couple of months ago that the putter didn't work, and the guy top fives and everything and never closes. I get that he's great. But, I mean, come on, all these comparisons that I'm hearing about his ball striking and Tiger Woods and all of that, just to give you guys a reference, I mean, we can compare the strokes gained, but you want to talk about odds here on the SportsGrid, right? This is a betting channel. When you go back in the day, and I remember these days, back when Tiger was at his prime, let's look at the 2007-2008 run, where he closes 2007, he plays 6 events and wins 5 of them. The one he doesn't win, he's a runner-up. So he starts 2008 at the Buick, which is at Torrey Pines, what we call the Farmers Insurance Open now. He was even money at that tournament to win. He comes back at the match play. He's plus 200. Tiger Woods goes to Bay Hill that year. He's minus 110 to win against a full field. Not a Bay Hill this year with 69 guys. He's minus 110. He went into the Masters that year plus 130. I know Scottie's under plus 500. Some books have him plus 490, plus 450 at the Masters, right? Scottie's great and all, but hey, let's just pump the brakes on the Tiger Woods talk. Will Scottie win again this week? I think there's a decent chance that somebody like Wyndham or maybe even a young star like Sahith Theegala at the top of the board could do some damage. I mean, it's tough to win every week on the PGA Tour.
No, it certainly is. And by the way, Scottie's like a machine. I mean, always up top here, always getting crazy odds. But at the FanDuel Sportsbook, the best part about it is they do have a market that says winner without Scottie Scheffler, which Wyndham Clark is a 10-1 price. Theegala is a 14-1. In your mind here, if we remove Scottie from the equation, who are some of these golfers we should keep an eye on over the next 4 days?
I mean, the early leans I have on the early line, it starts with Wyndham Clark. And a lot of guys say, well, he's a big game hunter, Keith. He wants the big events. He wants to beat Scottie. If you just finished runner-up to Scottie in 2 big events, you know this guy wants to take him down. I already said you need power and you need the putter. Wyndham has both. Sahith Theegala, the short game, his number started the week at plus 2,500. He's already down at plus 2,000. Everybody loves him because he's also hitting the ball great. 6th at API. 9th at the Players, and then one more name for you, Kashmir Keith Mitchell. This guy drives the ball great, and you have to do that well at Memorial Park Golf Course. Now, I'm going to tempt you even more. Before the Valspar, he came in at 40-1. Well, he's 40-1 again this week. Last week at the Valspar, he was 3rd tee to green. So he's striking the ball absolutely fantastic. If the putter pops up even just a little down there at Memorial Park, Kashmir Keith, He's going to be buying new sweaters, and we all are if we have him on our ticket.
How about that? By the way, we're expecting a good golf tournament this week. Of course, Scottie Scheffler is the heavy favorite. In 2 weeks, Keith, we will be at Augusta. Talk to me the preparation for some of these golfers as they ramp their game up to play in the Masters.
Well, I love this choice of a golf course leading up to, more so than I like the Valero next week. This place is long, and so is Augusta National. The average par 4 here is like 460 yards. So it's the same thing at Augusta. It's the second shot golf course, long approaches over 200 yards. I think the guys that you see do well this week, right, like a Wyndham Clark, that's plus 3,100 going into the Masters, get him as a futures bet now, because if he closes this week, that number is going to get cut in half when we get to Magnolia Lane.
Keith Stewart, our resident PGA pro right here on the SportsGrid Network, bringing that heat for the PGA Tour.